Good day, and thanks very much for watching this video. I am the one known as the Mystic Philosopher, and today I will share with you a piece of one of my semi-dub poetry that I wrote earlier this year on behalf of, or as a tribute to all women and children everywhere, and especially women and children that are the victims of rape, victims of murder, domestic and societal violence and abuse, suffered at the vicious and violent hands of men, some of my own brothers, my fellow men. I am now thinking of the women and children on the continent of Africa, in places like the Congo, Zimbabwe, Sudan, Darfur, Kenya. My heart and my thoughts also goes out to all the suffering and abused women and children in the Middle East, places like India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the Caribbean. Abused and suffering women and children anywhere and everywhere. As part of my contribution in helping to draw more attention to this issue of the inhumane treatment of our women and children, and particularly raising the issue amongst my brothers, I have also written and recorded a soon-to-be-released song titled A Tribute to Abused Women and Children. So here we go. Tribute to all women everywhere. On New Year's Day 2008, as I sat by myself in quiet contemplation, I found myself thinking and reflecting while trying to make some sense of all the social, religious and political upheavals that are happening in all the nations across the earth. Who, I ask, or what agent or unseen forces that are behind the senseless wars, tribal hatred, murders and the earth's desolations? In my mind's eye, I saw the blank stares of hopelessness, uncertainties, and abandonment in the bewildered eyes of some very poor and innocent little boys and girls. Children just drifting like chaff blown helplessly by the wind across barren lands. In my mind's eyes, I saw some of my very religious brothers, my own fellow men, acting in the name of their God. I saw their indiscriminate bombings, shootings, and suicide killings. I saw my own brothers beating, torturing, raping, maiming, and slaughtering innocent women. Some of these women were their own relatives, their wives, their daughters, their own blood. In my mind's eyes, I saw fathers molesting and prostituting their own daughters, their own children. I saw defenseless mothers wailing and fleeing while clinging frantically and desperately to their horrified and terrified children. I saw defenseless women running for their lives in all but yet unknown directions, while behind them, burning with the fury of hell, were fires fueled and torched by men, my brothers, my fellow men. I watched while the man-made fires consumed all the meager possessions of these helpless women. As I continued to contemplate and reflect on the earth's recorded history, on my fellow men's trail of bloodshed and cruelty, his obsessive quest for total dominance and superiority, while our world plunges deeper and deeper into insanity, I began to wonder what went wrong, or what is wrong with us men. What went wrong with my own brothers and fellow men? What has possessed our hearts and our minds? What has taken over our soul? And the more I got deeper and deeper into my meditation, I decided to ask my spiritual guides these questions. I asked, what went wrong with man, my brothers, my fellow men? Why we are acting and behaving so crazy like wild beasts? Why, with all our creativity, our inventions and discoveries, our powers and technologies, Why can't we amongst each other live in civility, peace, and harmony? And the answer I got was a bit surprising. For without hesitating or compromising, one of my spiritual guides responded by saying, "The problem with your world today, my friend, is that men have lost balance, control of their minds because of his contempt, disrespect, and abusive treatment of women and children. Men have lost his mental and physical balance with the cosmic intelligence and the source of all sources because of his injustice and misguided assault on all that which is feminine in principle and feminine in nature. For until all men again learn to treat all women as their equal partners, empowering them with their universal birthright of freedom, equal rights, justice, and respect, men will forever be restless and ruthless. His days and his nights will continue to be filled with fear and misery. His life will be mentally torturous and uneasy. Men will have no peace within himself. For in the days of the matriarchs of old, long before men in his arrogance and misguidedness violently overthrew women and took control of the world, long before words and ideologies such as Holocaust, war, genocides, mass destruction, and others were invented, the creative and expressive force called nature was known and worshipped by men as mother. Back then, men were never ashamed of his women priestesses, empresses, and goddesses. Women were revered as his creator and ancestor. They were his beloved sisters and daughters, partners and lovers. It was the delight of men to be women's saviors, protectors, and their defenders. Back then, every boy and every man knew the value of women, and that in her womb for 9 months she carried him, and that she selflessly loved, cherished, and protected him. Some women in childbirth gave their lives for him, but now he bites the hand that fed him. He now mentally and physically abused the bosoms that nurtured him. He now subdued the women who gave him life to begin. What will his world be like without women? What would his world be like without children? Could it be that he is now creating a world for only men? And so I ask of you, my brothers, my dear friends, my fellow men, should ever our anger, jealousy, or rage deceive and propel us in wanting to slap, hit, kick, or silence a woman? Or should ever our misunderstandings and our differences tempt us to call her disparaging names, names and words that if at all we are sane with a mentally sound mind, we would not dare call our own mothers and our precious daughters? Names and words that are unworthy of mention from the lips of the enlightened and the wise. Let us remember that she is the womb man from whence we are all from, and that it is through her our life here on this planet Earth began. And it does not matter which country we are from. It does not matter our name, rank, or position. It does not matter our custom, caste, or tradition, or to what faith or religion we may belong. For as long as we are abusive to our women, all women and children of the world, we are wrong, and there is absolutely no excuse. We are wrong, and our minds and our physical world will never again find peace, the peace it so desperately seeks. This is a call from I-Man to all other men everywhere. My brothers, my fellow men, let us be courageous and strong by taking a firm stance against all forms of injustice, violence, and abuse to all women and children everywhere. I am the mystic philosopher. Thank you.